Hello my friends, and welcome back to our channel. In this video, we're going to discuss the following. Surprise, the net worth of the Queen and each member of the royal family. Clearly, the British royal family is extremely rich, obviously. In physical assets, they have some of the most remarkable art and jewelry collections in the world, not to mention all the land they own. Overall, the royal family is worth about $88 billion, according to Forbes magazine. But what about its individual members, such as Meghan and Harry? How much are they worth? Prince George, $500,000. It probably shouldn't be a surprise that Prince George doesn't have that large of a net worth, seeing as how he's not even 10 years old yet. He's worth $500,000, but that's all going to change in the future. Prince George is heir to the throne, so some elements of his adult life are already planned out for him. Eventually, Prince George will inherit the Duchy of Cornwall as the eldest child of the reigning monarch always does. The duchy dates back all the way to 1337 and the days of King Edward III, but it's still very useful even now. It grants financial independence via a private estate to the royal who inherits it. The official website for the Duchy of Cornwall explains, under the guidance of the current Duke of Cornwall, it is the Duchy's responsibility to maintain this estate in a way that is sustainable, financially viable, and of meaningful value to the local community. And eventually, this will be one of the jobs for Prince George. But so devoted are the Duke and Duchess to giving Prince George a normal childhood that he might not actually know yet that he's going to be king one day. Prince William knew right from his early years, but in interviews, he's indicated that he wants to spare his eldest son that pressure. One day, though, he'll have to start preparing. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, $5 million. Camilla Parker Bowles was born into wealth. Her father was Vice Lord Lieutenant of East Sussex. The young Camilla was raised in a country estate and sent to finishing school. She occupied a high place in British society, yet she's not anywhere as rich as her husband, Prince Charles. Her net worth is a mere $5 million. However, Prince Charles seems happy to shower his wife with luxurious gifts. When he proposed to her in 2005, he did so with a huge engagement ring, which had once belonged to the Queen Mother. Clarence House has never revealed how much the piece is worth, but experts have valued it at around $225,000. Camilla appears to be trying to use her fortune for good causes. She's a working royal and she supports a lot of charities, reportedly at least 90 of them. Her charitable interests include supporting abuse victims, empowering women, and improving literacy. However, her role will change when the Queen passes away and Prince Charles becomes king. No one is sure yet what title Camilla will take when her husband is crowned. When she first came into the picture as the second wife, she was so unpopular that royal experts believed she wouldn't get the title of Queen Consort. But in more recent years, her PR has improved considerably. Either way, though, her finances will change. Meghan Markle, $5 million. Meghan Markle's net worth is, at the moment, $5 million. She wasn't always that rich, not by a long shot. She used to do freelance calligraphy to earn money in between acting jobs. But when she was cast on the popular TV show Suits, she ended up being paid $50,000 per episode. Markle was also a social media influencer before she married Prince Harry and became a duchess. She used to have a lifestyle blog called The Tig, as well as an Instagram account, and these netted her a neat $80,000. But when she became a member of the royal family, it was a whole different ballgame. Prince Harry has given Markle some expensive gifts over the years, gifts which reportedly included a Mini Cooper, a Cartier bracelet, and a diptych, Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, by British artist Van Donna. Yet everything changed again at the beginning of 2020. The pair stepped down as working royals and stated they would become financially independent. Markle and Prince Harry have kept quiet about their finances since then, but royal correspondent Katie Nicholl has been keeping track of them. In July 2020, she told Entertainment Tonight they do need to make money. They've been in LA since March. They left the royal family at the end of March, and as of yet, they haven't actually earned anything. Meanwhile, Princess Eugenie, 10 million. Princess Eugenie was born into royalty as the daughter of Prince Andrew. But unlike some of her cousins, she's not a working royal. Whenever she pops up at the royal events, it's not in a professional capacity. She instead has a relatively ordinary job. She's an associate art director at the London-based Hauser and Wirth Art Gallery. However, Princess Eugenie and her sister Princess Beatrice have inherited a great deal of money over the years. The Queen Mother left millions behind for her great-grandchildren. And when Prince Andrew divorced Sarah Ferguson in 1996, Queen Elizabeth ended up putting £1.4 million, or $1.85 million, into a trust fund for the two girls who were caught up in the scandal. Princess Eugenie married into money as well. Her husband is Jack Brooksbank, and he worked as a brand ambassador for George Clooney's tequila company, Casa Amigos. The company was sold in 2017 for a cool $1 billion, so it's probably safe to assume Brooksbank isn't hard up for cash. The wedding itself, however, caused controversy. People objected to the cost of Princess Eugenie's 2018 wedding. Though the ceremony itself was paid for by the royals, the security costs came out of the taxpayers' pocket. Almost 50,000 people signed a petition objecting to this, and anti-monarchy group Republic wrote that it might damage the royals for a long time to come, but the wedding went ahead as planned. However, Princess Beatrice, 10 million. Princess Beatrice has the same net worth as her sister Princess Eugenie and has followed a similar path in life. In October 2018, she told Vogue magazine, "We are young women trying to build careers and have personal lives, and we're also princesses and doing all of this in the public eye." The young princess studied history and history of ideas at Goldsmiths University of London. After that, she began working in the business world, splitting her time between Britain's capital city and New York. She ended up gaining a high-powered job at the software company Affinity. She's their vice president of partnerships and strategy. Princess Beatrice has also been active in charitable giving. In 2010, she participated in the London Marathon, raising money for children in crisis. She was the first royal to ever do this. And in 2011, she auctioned off the bizarre fascinator she'd worn at Prince William's wedding, donating the money to charity too. And Princess Beatrice managed to avoid the mistake her sister made with the wedding. In July 2020, she wed real estate businessman Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, a millionaire in his own right. But it was a very small and secretive ceremony. Only 20 guests, including Mozzi's young son, Wolfie, were invited to the royal chapel. And Kate Middleton with 10 million. Kate Middleton was a commoner when she met Prince William. And even though her family was wealthy, the class divide made her a target of snobbery. Allegedly, people in high circles would whisper, "Doors to Manuel," whenever they saw her around, a reference to her mother having once been an air hostess. However, Middleton got the last laugh, and how. She now has a net worth of $10 million, and her living expenses for things like travel and wardrobe are bankrolled by the Duchy of Cornwall. And that wardrobe is an extremely impressive one. Middleton has plenty of beautiful, expensive clothes. Her wedding dress alone cost $332,000. In fact, Middleton has started a fashion phenomenon called the Kate effect. Clothes and jewelry, which she wears in public, tend to sell out pretty much immediately. Even when the equally glamorous Meghan Markle joined the royal family, statistics indicated Middleton was still the top royal influencer, and she remains so. And should Middleton, for whatever strange reason, need to borrow money, she could always turn to her parents. Carol and Michael Middleton have a party supply company, Party Pieces, which is worth $50 million. Its net worth grew even higher after their daughter became a duchess. So, though Middleton's story is of her going from commoner to royalty, no rags to riches were involved before they came along. Meanwhile, her husband, Prince William, has $40 million. Prince William, second in line to the throne, is worth an impressive $40 million. But plenty of that comes from inherited money. In 2002, the Queen Mother left $17.9 million for her great-grandsons, quite enough to set the average person up for life. However, Prince William received a smaller share, as he would be the one eventually to become king. When Princess Diana passed away in August 1997, much of her fortune was passed down to Princes William and Harry. And they also received the vast majority of her jewelry collection as well. Prince William ended up using his late mother's sapphire engagement ring to propose to Kate Middleton in 2010. Though Prince William is a working royal now, he received a salary for the jobs he did previously. When he served as a helicopter pilot for the RAF Search and Rescue Force, he earned at least $68,000, according to Forbes. And in 2015, he earned a reported $62,000 a year as an air ambulance pilot, but he donated that to charity. Prince William is only going to get richer in the future, though. Once his father, Prince Charles, takes the throne, the younger man will inherit the Duchy of Cornwall. And after that, he'll have to start preparing to be king himself. Once he is, he'll have access to riches the likes of which are scarcely imaginable. Like his brother, Prince Harry comes in at $40 million. Prince Harry isn't at all wanting for money. He has a net worth of $40 million. And also, like Prince William, he served in the military on full salary. He was a soldier for 10 years, eventually earning the rank of captain, and he was reportedly paid around $53,000 for this. Once Prince Harry left the military and became a working royal, he began receiving money from the Duchy of Cornwall towards his living expenses. And he also had the money left to him by his mother. But in January 2020, he and Meghan Markle stepped back from the royal family and everything changed. A book released in August 2020, Finding Freedom, claimed that Princes William and Harry fought over money. A source said, "There were times in the past when Harry wanted to take on bigger projects and do more work, but he couldn't get the money to support it. William was always the priority. A lot of their quarrels have been over budgets." And Prince Harry's money worries continue, not because of a lack of funds, but because he and Meghan Markle are constantly being scrutinized now to see how much they spend. Although they said upon stepping down that they wanted to be financially independent, apparently they're still receiving public funds from British taxpayers. Meanwhile, unsurprisingly, Prince Charles is worth a tremendous amount of money. His net worth is $100 million, and a lot of that is down to the Duchy of Cornwall. According to the official website for the Duchy, the current Prince of Wales chooses to use a substantial portion of his income from the Duchy estate to meet the cost of his public and charitable work, as well as the public and private lives of his family. There's another aspect to the duchy, however. While it was created in 1337 by Edward III, some of its more antiquated rules are still in force today. For example, Prince Charles has the right to receive anything salvaged from a Cornish shipwreck, and he's also entitled to the property of any duchy residents who die without heirs or a will. Prince Charles is a regular donor to charities, but he also spends a lot of money on his hobbies. One of these is vintage car collecting. The 1969 Aston Martin Volante Prince William drove on his wedding day actually belonged to his father. Prince Charles also paints, but he makes even more money by selling the paintings. And ever since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family and moved away, Prince Charles has allegedly been helping them out financially as well. In March 2020, the Daily Mail reported that the prince was shelling out millions for his son and daughter-in-law's security arrangements in America. And the last one. It's not surprising when Queen Elizabeth II has a net worth of $600 million. But of course, that's only a small portion of the power she wields. She has full ownership of the Sandringham Estate in Norfolk and Balmoral Castle in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. And she also has a spectacular collection of some of the most beautiful, most expansive pieces of jewelry in the world. However, a lot of what we think of as the Queen's assets are actually owned by a body called the Crown Estate. It's this, rather than the Queen herself, which has ownership over Buckingham Palace. It's worth $18 billion, a staggering amount. And if the monarch did actually own it herself, her net worth would be much higher. The Queen receives money from the properties owned by the Crown Estate, and yet more from another duchy, the Duchy of Lancaster. And if that wasn't enough, she bets on racehorses sometimes. She's a huge horse fanatic and keeps any money she makes. So what on earth does she do with all of it? Some of this goes into her palace staff, naturally, and to the upkeep of her properties. Some also goes to the church collection box whenever she attends. She also has to shell out plenty of money on alcohol, not for herself, but to entertain the multiple guests she hosts. And yet, despite all this, the Queen is considered a frugal spender who even recycles wrapping paper. Okay, that brings us to the end of my analysis. How do you feel about these numbers? Please let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share with your own followers. And as always, subscribe to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.